Good morning, it's Catherine Best Gordon, and today it's time to train. Monday morning, Monday live training. We're doing a classic training session today. This is the 5x5. I was in the store the other day and I was talking to a really young guy, had graduated recently from high school, and was like, hey, when I was in school, I went to class and it was easy to keep fit. What do I do now that I'm working and that he's going on to school? And this is great for gals and guys. This is the 5x5, 5 essential lifts, followed by interval training, and it's the interval training that's going to be really super for fat burning and fat loss. And then at the end of the video, we will talk about some of my favorite yoga wear if you're interested in the new high-waisted yoga pants and stuff like that. But we're going to get started with the training first. So we're going to go through our standard warm-up and just a nice, easy, gentle rotation. So what we're doing is waking up the brain-body connection, shoulders forward, getting the arms, I can kneel down for this so you can see, getting the arms all the way up and all the way down. A lot of people I work with, sometimes they have a lack of flexibility in one of the arms. Try to keep this even. Obviously, you don't need to kneel to do this, but torso isolations. Zipping up the abs, really keeping them up and tight, side to side. And up I come. And gentle rotations of the knees in each direction. Get your balance, rotate. Brain-body connection. Couple of swings. Tonal body. Leg swings. Hold on to something if you need to. Good for balance. Big breath in. All right, 5x5. 5 squats, push-ups, Romanian deadlifts, rows, and curls for 5 rounds. This is going to be a longer session today because I'm going to do this as a legitimate bodybuilding, muscle creating, strength generating training session. So I'm going to do this traditionally. So I'm going to do all of my squats, do straight sets, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and then I'm going to do all of my push-ups, Romanian deadlifts, rows, and curls. So because I'm doing all of my squats and then all of my push-ups, I'm going to have to incorporate rest. So there's going to be some rest in this training session. And of course, if you're watching live, that's great. But if you're watching back and you just want to see how to do the exercises, of course, you can fast forward through. All right, let's begin. We're going to start with the squat. Note that I'm going to go with some pretty easy weights for me today. Just want to demonstrate the technique and the form, show you how to do this. If I was in my actual training, I'd probably go heavier than this, but also demonstrating that you can start light if you want to, learn the technique, learn the form, and then go ahead and challenge yourself on the amount of weight you use. So starting with the squat. Now we're going to go ahead and go with this angle. And it's 5, dropping down. As you can see, my squats aren't real deep and low. My knees do come forward a hair, but one thing I do manage to do is keep a neutral spine. I'm not bowing, I'm not arching, and keeping the tracking correct so that I'm not rolling out or rolling in, correct? Gonna go back and do another one. Of course, if I was lifting much heavier, I would probably have to take more rest. Round 2. Here we go. Inhaling on the way down, and exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. 2 more. Super. My squat rack is the BD8 by Valor Fitness, and I got this at Amazon.com. Let's go back and get another one. Remember, if you're using heavier weights, going more towards your 5 rep maximum, you're going to need more rest in between. The bar is on my shoulders, nowhere near my neck. And working on getting lower, so taking a little pause. Watch your fingers when you put your bar back. Got water handy? Is Dimitri here? Come here. Come here, say hi. He's like, no, he's camera shy. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. Come on. Yeah. Come around. Can you sit for me? Can you sit? Oh, there. Good boy. Here's Natasha too. They're like, oh, there's fun going on. Hey guys. Hey guys. All right, next round. Of course, if you're lifting really heavy, you might want to keep the dogs out of the room, right? Round 4. So I'm pausing to see if I can just get down a little bit lower. Not rolling out, which is what I tend to do, is roll out. What I mean by rolling out is, that is rolling out, going on the outside of my feet. Rolling in, which is also called valgus vault, would be coming in this way. Out is this way in. So I want to stay on top of my feet, and I want you to stay on top of your feet too. Last set. Stepping in. Getting under it, pushing through. Now, if I open my stance a little bit more, I can get a little bit lower. I believe too that as you get to 90 degrees or a little lower, as you drive up, you're really gonna stimulate those quads. All right, here we go. A little wider stance. Seeing if I can get a little bit lower, neutral spine. And that's about as low as I can get with my neutral spine. Feels really good. And there's 5. Whew. Take your time, be conservative. Really the most risky point very often is when we're putting our weights away, right? You're tired, you put in the effort as you were lifting. You got to be able to safely get those weights back on the rack, correct? So now we're going into push-ups. 5 by 5. Here we go. And as you know, I like a tricep push-up. Women tend to have some issues with their shoulders sometimes, so the standard push-up can be, it's a little challenging for me. I like the elbow back push-up, and I don't have my glasses on, so hi to whoever's coming on, but I can't see. At any rate, I can see well enough to train, but not to read off of my iPhone. Straight back like this. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was actually challenging for me, so I'm going to do a couple of sets elevated on the counter here. Shaking it out, getting into the second set. And once again, thank you for staying with me. One of the things about the way I'm doing this training program this morning, and of course these stay on my feed, is that if you want to train along with me, I'm doing this at a tempo that if your weights aren't too heavy, you could follow along too. And like I said before, in the future, if you're looking at this and you just want to see the program, you can always fast forward. All right, here we go. For 5. Pulling that belly up. And it's 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Aussies are having a party out there. I'm going to close the door. Now, talking about push-ups, getting more push-ups, getting stronger. I'm going to go to the floor. I'm going to do as many full as I can. And if I start to get weak, I'm going to go ahead and drop down and do a kneeling push-up. So away we go. Starting, seeing how many I can do here. 1, 2, I can get one more. 3, and now dropping to the kneeling push-up. And 4, and 5. So actually I'm going to put my glasses on as I rest. It faded away. What are you going to do? One of the great things about having fewer than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is that it gives you time to grow and kind of figure out what you're doing before you really get pushed out to a lot of people. I'd rather make mistakes in front of a small audience than a big audience. Not to say that once I get over 1,000, I won't be making mistakes. Also a good time to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and to everybody who has bought the Sugar Freedom program. And to say if you have any questions, you can leave questions on this video or you can email me, Catherine@cardiofreedom.com. Catherine with a C. All right, here we go. Next set of push-ups right up here. And it's 1 and 2 and 3. It's 4 and 5. Now, let's see. So you can actually see these a little better. Nope, that's making it worse. That's better. So I'm going to start with full body, and then I'm going to go to kneeling if I need to. Let's see if I can get all 5. Last set. Last set, best set. Here we go. And it's 1, 2, 3. I don't want a dolphin. 4 and 5. One of the things that's cool about this 5 by 5, which goes squat, push-up, RDL, row, and curl, in some ways we go from the hardest exercises down to the easier exercises, which can make it a little bit more enjoyable. All right, so going to the Romanian deadlift. Yes, this is light, but it also allows me to talk about the process. All right, 5 by 5, here we go. Clear the knees, stand and squeeze. As your flexibility increases, you may be able to go farther down the shins, right? But you want to be able to keep that neutral spine. That was 3. Clear the knees, neutral spine. 4, I think. Clear the knees, stand and squeeze. And 5. And really nice about my Valor Fitness BD8 is that it's got the catch bar. We don't want to overload that catch bar. I would probably never put more than like 80 pounds on the catch bar. Rest, recover, drink some water. All right, let's do that again. Woo. And we'll do it from this angle. And it's 1. Drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes. 2, work the hamstrings. 3, squeeze the back of the legs. 4, doing my best to keep those abs in. 5. Set number 2. And then what's coming up next is going to be a bent over row. And then the final exercise is going to be a curl. Note that if you're going to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you can alternate. So you can do the curl one day, which is what we're going to do today, and then you can do tricep extensions the next day. Front of the arm, back of the arm. Of course, the whole point of the 5 by 5 is to focus on these main exercises, master them, and then move on from there. Next set. Ready? Here we go. Squeeze. Squeeze the back of the legs. Stay up on top of your feet. 3 sets. Let's talk about training volume. Last week, we did a building program. We did a lower body, and we did 8 sets of 3. So let's do the math. That's 24. 5 by 5 is 25. Do you see how close the volume is? Training volume is weight times reps. So it's the same training volume, almost, that we did last week. So you can, play with the time, the reps, the weight, and find what works for you and change it up. Here we go. Round 4. Of course, 5 by 5, there's going to be more rest incorporated and probably heavier weight. One more set. Sometimes in between, if you want to, you can do a stomach vacuum. Inhale. Blow all the air out and suck in. Last set. Number 5. At least of the Romanian deadlifts. Here we go, straight on. Well, pretty much. Clear the knees, stand and squeeze. 2. Inhale down. Exhale up. There we go. For my bent over row, I'm going to switch to dumbbells. I'll start with 10s. One thing you can also do, if you wish, on the 5x5, your first set could be a warm-up set, so you could do a little bit less weight and then add weight for the next 4. Coming forward, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and challenge myself a little more. Moving up to the 12s. I love these dumbbells. They are, I believe they're polyurethane. Rubber is less expensive, but it tends to smell. And if you're bringing your weights in and you have them inside your house, believe me, you don't want that smell. And so that's why I like the polyurethane a little better. And for 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, I felt those. Cute little clips. So these are for the standard bar, but today I'm using the Olympic bar. Also got them both on Amazon. One of my clients was trying to get a 1-inch bar, a 5-footer, and she said that they were back ordered. So I'll have to go and check that out. Really fun to have the equipment on your own. The great thing about a barbell is that they're very easy to store in a corner under a bed. You slide the plates under a bed. You know, you don't have to have a home office fitness room in order to do barbell training. Just got to have the barbell, have some weights, away you go. All right, let's go again. Round 3. Round 3, coming forward. 1, 2, 3, working the back. 4 and 5. Yay, back exercise. And lucky us, if you're training along with me, we get to do 2 more. Gloves. When I first started lifting, I would wear gloves, but I have calluses now, and also it's good to strengthen your hands. Grip strength is one of the measures of longevity. Get that grip strength. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just going to go for it again. You can always go slower as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, 5 sets means 5 rests, but the beauty of this training session is it's just 5 different lifts. Very doable. Got 1 more set. You're gonna go ahead and go for it. As I said, if you're doing your 5 rep maximum, obviously you're going to need more rest than this. But we're moving right along. And coming forward, and it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Why is the weightlifting so important? So if you need to lose more than 30 pounds, I lost 70. Yay. But man, oh man, I've got quite a few friends who have lost a whole lot more. I have a number of friends in the 100 Club, and I've learned so much from them and from their journeys. Hats off to them. If you've got more than 20 or 30 pounds to lose, you do have to be careful that you're not going to end up with loose skin. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I was overcoming obesity is that the first 20 pounds that I lost, I did it with a low-calorie, high-cardio method, and that is when my arms and my legs, the skin started to get loose, and I was only in my 40s at that point. Once I stopped doing that and I started weight training and I started going a little bit slower on my weight loss, my body and my skin was able to catch up. And so that was more than 10 years ago. I'm 54 now, and I'm finding that I'm not loosening anymore. So that's really good news. But I just want to say, if you're starting a major fat loss journey, take it 1 pound at a time, lift as you lose, and I believe that your skin will stay tight. And this is also what I've observed with my friends and the people I've worked with. I believe we got 1 more set of these, right? Or was that the last one? All right, we'll assume that it was the last one and we'll get right to the curls. I'm gonna start with 10s. So this is actually going to be pretty easy. 10 for 5, ready, and curling it up and bringing it down. Really pull in the abs and squeeze the glutes as you come up. Pull in the abs, squeeze the glutes. And 4, and 5. So that was pretty easy. I'm going to switch to 12s. Going right to the 12s. Here we go. Set number 2. 1. Pull in those abs, squeeze the glutes. 3, 4, 5. Ah, there, I felt those a little bit more. Just for excitement. I'm gonna go grab 15s. Now this is gonna be hard for me. Here we go. 1, 2, maintaining form. 3, don't want to swing them. 4, 5. Now I'm going to work my way back down. Oops. Kind of like a mountain method. Go up and then down. Down to 12s. So it's getting harder, but it seems easier because I've dropped the weight. It's still hard. And now down to the 10s. When you train in tight spaces, like home office or maybe in your garage or your bedroom, you have to be careful and methodical about getting the weights out and putting them away in these tight spaces. Just use caution. Last set, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Woo! Now, intervals. I'm going to go ahead and get out a kettlebell that's going to be easy for me to do these intervals. Here's how this works. 8 seconds of work, 12 seconds of rest, up to 8 rounds. And I'm going to demonstrate 4 rounds today, but certainly you can do up to 8. And I continue to do other posts about the science behind this. Been reading a pretty good book called The 1 Minute Workout. I'll put the author's name in the show notes. Also, going back to the same thing that Craig Ballantyne was talking about when I was doing his program, is finding a way of doing intervals so that you can work and then recover. Really helps for fat loss, improving VO2 max, and just overall fitness and ability. And interestingly enough, interval training actually increases endurance and ability. So it's just a win-win-win. Normally, I would do these with a heavier kettlebell, but I'm going to go a little bit lighter this morning. This is my demonstration. On the kettlebells, you could start with, a lot of times people recommend starting with a 15-pounder. I recommend a 10. You could even do a 7. They're out there and available. And then as you get stronger and get new kettlebells, you can do other things with the light bells. You can curl, you can press them overhead, so you won't be wasting your money. Or you could trade with friends. All right, here we go. So, yep, you can see me. So we're gonna do 8 seconds of work, 12 seconds of rest, and away we go. Hinging back, ready, and so I'm simply counting 1 1,000 in my head. Coming down on 11 1,000, 12 1,000, 1 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you stand and wait, you can do an iron cross. Squeeze the body, work on posture. Mountain pose. Round 3. You'll notice this is easy. It's because of the weight of the kettlebell. It's pretty light. And down. That was round 3. We'll just do some stick-ups. And some reverse flies. And on 11, 12, I'm coming down. So when you do this for real, you're going to be more out of breath than this. Basically just a demonstration. So to make this super effective, you're going to go with a fairly challenging kettlebell, and you're going to go for about 8 rounds. Now I'm going to get some water, and we're going to talk fitness fashion. My favorite right now, so the higher waisted yoga pants are coming into style, which is cool, covering a multitude of errors. So these are, we've just got these amazing, really soft. This is kind of exciting. So I'm back to what I call my fighting weight. When I was working in the theater more often and going to more auditions, I needed to be right around 127 pounds to get hired in the live theater. In order to get work on camera, I had to be around 117. And I know we're talking about weight, we're talking about numbers, but this was just simply the reality that I faced as an actor. And I think it's one of the things that we're wondering now, as more of us are on camera, being on YouTube, any kind of business that you're in, often video is involved. And one of the great challenges that we've always known, that I've known since the 80s, is that the camera isn't slimming. The stage is. When you're on stage, the way you're lit actually can make you look taller and slimmer, so yay for the stage. But the camera tends to add a little bit of weight. So today I'm sitting right at 127 pounds, and I am almost 5'1". If I'm measured in the doctor's office, I am 60.5 inches tall. So that gives you, kind of an idea of, where I am in terms of BMI, and that can also help you in terms of your yoga pants. And these are size small, incredibly comfortable. And the manufacturer is Scorpio Sol, and I did not pay $69 for these. I paid $19 at TJ Maxx. Woohoo, TJ Maxx, we love you guys. You have the greatest prices. And this is a high waist, which is super duper, I love it. And Airlux fabric. So this is the, so glad the high waist is in style, especially for a 54-year-old mom. Really nice to have that smoothing and the high waist. And then the great thing about this is it also, as much as possible, it kind of doesn't make that line, which nobody wants. Nobody wants that line or that bump in their camisole. Boy, if you stayed with me, I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. I am back here every Monday. It's turning out to be more 7 o'clock Pacific time, kind of like when the whole house gets up. My husband's getting ready to go to work, and so I don't have to be real quiet. I use my iPhone, and I use obviously the camera and the microphone that comes on that. And I know that using a body mic can be a little bit clearer sound-wise, but this gives me the freedom. I don't have a mic pack, and so it tends to work really well. All right, so my nutrition program is sugarfreedom.com. my fitness program, cardiofreedom.com. You can email me, Catherine@cardiofreedom.com. Like, subscribe. If you know somebody who's trying to figure out how to train at home to get strong and release fat, please share this video with them. I like training with all ages, but especially if you know somebody who might be over 40 or 50, 60 and beyond, maybe somebody who has trouble with their knees or their back, who wants to train safely, maybe you will share this video with them. I hope you will. I'll see you back here next week, 7 o'clock Pacific, for another live training session with me, CBG, Catherine Best Gordon. Bye, everybody, and make it a wonderful day. Bye. Oh, wait, it is. Bye, Mike. Thank you so much.